Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to Make This Go Viral Crime Podcast. Today, we will be talking about the interrogation of Sierra Day and Deonte Lewis. So we will be starting off where we left off at the other day with Sierra Day. We're going to finish out her interrogation, and then we're going on to Deonte Lewis. And I have a few videos queued up just to get everybody up to speed. We are talking about precious angel, Aniya Day-Garrett, who was only 4 years old when she lost her life at the hands of her mother and her mother's boyfriend that did nothing to help her. Absolutely nothing. March of 2018 in Cleveland, Ohio. So again, I just want to welcome everybody in. Thank you so much for being here. I see you. So we are going to get started here. I'm not going to delay. We got a lot of stuff to go over. And if anybody, have any questions, go ahead and type it in the chat. Towards the middle of this, after I present all of the information, I will drop the link and allow people to come up and give their input. And so I got time today. I'm off. I'm enjoying my day. So I thought I would spend a big portion of that here on YouTube. Here we go.
It's as if I was being soft, basically. I stopped it.
Okay, so you stopped. You didn't want him to think you were soft.
I didn't want my daughter to think that I was doing nothing to abuse her, because I never did that. He was just trying to get her ways back to walk. And I told him, you led it to this point. I told him. I told him a couple days. I'm like, you led it to this point. I said, Aniya has never acted like this until you start coming around. And so I just let you whoop her. She start acting fucking weird.
Yeah. So looking back on the last couple days, I know when you came in here you said you were lying for your man and whatever, so you're being more honest with me now. But I'm wondering, when is the first time that you realized that Aniya was dead? Be honest.
I didn't know. I just thought she stopped breathing.
Okay. When was the first time? Was it Saturday night?
No, it was Sunday. It was Sunday.
What time?
It was Sunday. It was in the bed.
What time? Morning?
I called you guys around like 4-ish.
I think, yes, closer to 4.
And I realized it around like 2.
So you realized a couple hours before you called us that
I would just look at her stomach, and I'm like, baby, is she breathing?
Yeah.
Is she breathing? And I see her eye open. He told me that her eye moved, and I didn't see it move. He was like, baby, I saw her eye move.
Yeah.
She's alive. She's prolonged to fake. I was very concerned. I'm like, Aniya's not breathing, because I kept going back and forth into the room.
And why didn't anybody call 911 when you first realized she wasn't breathing?
Because we just thought she was breathing, and I noticed she wasn't. She's bony.
You noticed what?
She's bony.
Bony.
And I noticed when I was looking at her stomach, I'm like, is she breathing? I thought she was, but then I knew I was wrong. And when I was touching her, she wasn't a normal. She wasn't a normal. Like a normal. She was cold, basically.
She was cold.
She wasn't warm.
Yeah. When did you notice that she was stiff?
When we woke her up. Tried to wake her up.
Yeah.
I knew something was wrong with my heart.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep. I was tossing and turning. I couldn't sleep. I left my job. I was stressed when I left my job.
Yeah.
I said, Deonte, this is not your child. You can leave whenever you want to, and this can be on me, and you was the cause of it, is what I told him.
Yeah.
And he said, baby, I'm not going to leave you because I know I was the cause of it. He was like, I should have thought. I should never whooped her. I should never did this, because that's when she started prolonging it.
Okay.
I was basically just listening to him, because I thought, it ain't no thought. I knew he wasn't going to be right. I just let him do it.
You just let him do it.
And she looked at me as if she knew I never. She just looked at me as if, Mommy, you don't do this to me. And I let him.
They absolutely did fail Aniya. This baby talked and spoke up for herself. And that was one of the things that just broke my heart the most, that she reached out. She did what she was supposed to do. And there was nobody to grab her and make it okay. to get her up out of this house with a mother who did not care about her daughter. How could you be so cruel? All of the things that I've been hearing about this is just absolutely ridiculous. So, like I said, I am going to get into the interrogation. I'm going to stop it along the way. And so now we've gotten into the part where she's pretty much blaming Deonte. I mean, she doubled down on that. And so, for the duration of her interrogation, pretty much that's what you're going to hear. And then, I mean, just so you can have an idea of what they were saying in court and what we all said, a lot of us said on the broadcast the other day is that Deonte, we're not sure if he actually put hands on her. I'm not, but he did nothing to help. He stood behind this woman. He doubled down in interrogation on her discipline. He agreed with it. One of the biggest things was that he was he was the caregiver for Aniya at a point in time. He was the one there with her. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, come on. You see something, you say something. You do not stand by and watch somebody abuse a completely innocent child and say or do nothing.
That Deonte Lewis had over the defendant over a long period of time. We have him with Sierra Day at Cultural Gardens when she moves in on February 1st of 2018. We have him there at Cultural Gardens on February 9th of 2018 when he's involved in a domestic dispute with Sierra. We have him there on February 11th of 2018 when he is driven back to Cultural Gardens from Euclid Hospital at 4:30 a.m. without Aniya. There's evidence that he was at Cultural Gardens on February 21st because Sierra makes a report that there was the death of a tablet. We have Isaiah Day's testimony that Deonte Lewis was at Cultural Gardens apartment sometime in February, and the child was confined to her bedroom in her bed. There was evidence that Deonte and Sierra were together on March 8th of 2018 at Harbor Crest Apartments, again without Aniya. And the jury can infer when they're given the case that she was sitting in her bed at Cultural Gardens. There's evidence that both defendants were at Cultural Gardens on March 10th engaging in sexual acts that was reported. That was one day before her death.
Participated in it. You cannot separate the two. I don't feel bad for neither one of them because my love and support is with Aniya. And so we are let me see. Yes, thank you so much for being here. Good morning to y'all. Thank y'all so much. This is a horrific case, y'all, and like I said, it's near and dear to my heart. I couldn't report it in the beginning, but now I can. And when I ran across these interrogation videos, I knew that I was going to report it because I'm like, wow, this is a case that I wanted to know inside and out. And it's a lot of stuff that I did, not a lot, but it's some details that I didn't know, especially what they said during their interrogation and stuff like that. I mean, you just not privy to that information right away sometime. And I see that this video actually got released like 2 weeks ago, and I'm all in. And so she's gonna get into, I'm gonna show you guys some audio when she started describing how Deonte allegedly abused Aniya. And I'm not gonna say allegedly because they are both found guilty at this point. The mother, the so-called mother, she got 20 years to life without the possibility of parole. He got 20 to life with the possibility of parole. So that's the only difference that they did. They was in this together. And then, I mean, the two interrogations are completely different. We're on the part with her interrogation where she's completely blaming him, and then we're going to go into him where he's protecting her. You will also notice that he asked about Aniya a lot in his interrogation, and he asked about her, but you don't get the same with her. All she's trying to do is clear her butt. If for whatever reason y'all can't hear me, let me know. And let me know if y'all can hear this okay.
And on her front as well? On her torso, arms, or legs?
This part, because she was moving around.
Her legs. And what is she being struck with?
A belt.
A bell. Okay. So you were trying to tell me about that. Tell me more about that.
After the whipping, Aniya stopped walking.
When was that?
So what she's explaining right now is a whooping that Deonte allegedly gave her. I gotta say allegedly because it's coming out of her mouth. That Deonte allegedly gave Aniya. And so she said after that is when she stopped walking. So that's what she's explaining right now.
When did she stop walking?
I don't know. It happened in Harbor Crest, and I noticed a more change in her when Deonte would come around.
And she said it happened at Harbor Crest, which is where she lived at prior to moving at the location that she was at when the ambulance and everything came, when all of the things happened. So at the time that Aniya passed away, they had been living there for 2 months. So she's saying that she stopped walking a month before, like 3 months ago, basically, because that would have been how long ago that they were at that place. And she did nothing. And it's just absolutely ridiculous when we listen to, let me see if I have, when we listen to what the doctor said, and then when we listen at the fact that she's describing this as if Aniya was faking. That's the twisted part. And some of the things that she's explaining, Aniya is already deceased. She had been deceased for hours. It could have been, I mean, I don't think I even heard how many hours she could have been there before they called 911. But I do remember hearing at least 2. She had been deceased at least 2 hours. When she's explaining her and Deonte giving Aniya a bath, and when she shows how Deonte allegedly put her in the tub, it clearly, she was already stiff. She was already stiff when the paramedics came. They said when they put the thing over her mouth to cover her nose and mouth to put air into her lungs, the smell of decomp came out. She had been gone, y'all. So this woman here, she is sick. Really. I'm going to let this video play. They absolutely did. You know, and one thing that really sticks out to me is the fact that Aniya never said he did it. She never told anybody Deonte did it. She always said her mommy did it. 14 documented incidents. 4, they said that teacher did, if I got that number right. So we're going to get into this. I just wanted to make sure I get everybody up to speed. Yes, it is. It is very sad. But you know what? It's happening more and more today. Even more. Like, this was the case that showed me that it happens, right? After this case, and I started paying attention, it was happening every day. Like, I mean, so much, y'all. It's sad. It's sad. And these are the hardest cases for me to follow and cover. But this one is why Make This Go Viral is here. So we're going to definitely talk about Aniya, and I'm going to make sure I got a playlist created. This is the second video of the playlist, and it's starting with Interrogation. So yeah, I mean, this is what started me into crime. I was always sharing like crime on groups and stuff, and I had groups prior to start and fight for Aniya. But when I started that group, it just really I really got more into it, and that was in 2018. The day that I found out, the day that it was on the news is when I created it. 41,000 members, spinoff group, make this go viral. And I said that's because I wanted all cases to go viral, because this case was viral. Like, everybody was talking about it, and I wondered what made some cases go viral and others don't. But one thing I can tell you about this case and about any other case, when you have parents that's out there speaking up for their kids, or you got the family out there keeping the story out or letting the public know, and as emotional as her father was, that helped draw people in. And even though he got that $3 million lawsuit, we got a Aniya law. He created a foundation. I'm sure he's met a lot of people. None of that. I mean, he would give all that back if he could have his daughter. And for people that say that this man didn't do enough, I don't have a timeline, but one thing I do know is that court takes time. And if you trying to get through the system without a lawyer, you it's really gonna take you some time. Okay, it's not a quick process. So just like they had that court date set up 4 days before this happened, they were going to go to court so he could start seeing his daughter and try to get his daughter, but it didn't happen. But the thing is, let's say that court date did come and Sierra didn't show up. They reschedule those. So that's all you have to do is not show up, or do like even when they okay. So one of the things they play around with, they don't show up. Then you got to redo it. Then they come again. Okay, let's say they got the order in process. The order is together, and this is visitation, and this is what y'all supposed to do. And then they get into it, and the mother say, nope, I'm not sending her with you. Guess what? That's another court date. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole petty process that a lot of these sorry females do. And listen, I call it out like I see it. This woman was a bitter broad who took it out on her child. She was angry and upset because Michael didn't want her no more. She was with another man. Couldn't you just be happy? But she got with this other man, and within 8 months of being with him, her baby was gone. And I believe her dad did everything he could to try to get her. Of course, I'm sure he wasn't thinking that her mother was going to take her life. I'm sure he wasn't. And then he still had to live his life. I heard him say that he didn't have a car at a point. He was going through things, trying to see her, going after she put an order up. She lied and said he did something. So she put like a order of protection on him, and she did some other type of order, and he couldn't come around. He wasn't trying to get locked up. So I seen videos of him because he was documenting, and I seen videos of him in the hallways of the court with all this paperwork and explaining what was going on. He was fighting for his daughter. But in the state of Ohio, I do know that like the mother is like automatic favor to the mother, the custody. And even if it's not established, it's favored to the mother. So if you have a child, you need to kind of get that stuff together. Not kind of, but do. If you're not with that person, you need to get that in order. The visitations and all of that, because it's a long process, and everything is good until they fall out. So I just want to say welcome in to everybody. Thank y'all so much. I see y'all out here. Please share it out if you can. And thank you for being here.
As if she was scared of him, because I had this conversation with him. It's like if she was afraid of him. And I was just trying to hide it. I was just trying to hide it because I like Deonte a lot. So I just I let it prolong, and I wasn't.
So again, she really about to go in with this stupid prolong word, using it the wrong way. But you just heard her say, she just ignored it because she really liked Deonte. So she just let him whoop her. And I just want to say, I believe everything that she's describing is actually her that's doing it, because Aniya said mommy did it. So I believe that she was the main one. She was the one doing that. And this idiot just sat there and did nothing. I remember when Michael spoke, the victim's impact statement, and he said because she wasn't his child, he didn't care. He turned away. He didn't care. He did nothing.
As a mother to let him with my child, because I never did. And I stopped walking. And I felt like she was walking. She can walk. She did it around me.
You see, she said Aniya stopped walking, but I felt like she could walk because she did it around me when he wasn't around. Girl, stop. All of the things that they said was wrong with Aniya, there's no way that she walked, period.
They came around. It's like she was fake. Like she was dead. She was fake. Like if she was scared of him. And he noticed, he said, when she's around you, she act different. She doesn't speak to him. She told me several times she didn't like noodles.
Okay. This mark on her leg here, we see these burns, which we'll get to later, but do you know what caused this mark here? Because you're talking about being whooped on her legs, and I'm just wondering if this mark here was caused by one of those whoopings. Do you know? Have you seen marks like this on her after a whooping?
No, I never moved on it.
When you're saying you saw Deonte whooping her, and that it hit her in the legs and back and torso everywhere. Did you ever see marks? Did the belt cause injury?
I really just thought that came from the wash.
Okay. But I mean, there obviously was visible injury at some point because you got a mark that you know about. Go ahead.
I'm trying to take over because he went to hide those buildings.
Yeah, don't take over.
He noticed and I started acting very weird. I let him whoop. She wasn't a bad child.
Now notice they're talking about the burns and stuff. And welcome in. I see y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. Let me know if y'all can hear it okay. I'm kind of moving it around, trying to get it in a better position. Okay.
She didn't listen. When I didn't get her way, she did throw tantrums or whatever.
Tantrums.
Once they figured to get her act right, to whoop her. So when he whooped her, I walked out the room, and when she was screaming, it made me walk back in her room, and he stopped. And then I act like she couldn't walk. So when he whooped her again, she walked or whatever. And then days after that, Aniya just started. I guess Aniya wasn't used to the whoopings or the discipline or whatever.
Thank you, Tracy.
Aniya just told me, I don't like noodles, mommy. I don't like noodles. I looked past it because she was a kid. I felt like Aniya prolonged. It happened to Harbor Crest. I feel like she prolonged not to walk and to act different.
Y'all see where she said it happened at Harbor Crest. I feel like she prolonged not to walk. Okay, so this is around where we stopped at.
Towards us because the discipline, the whooping. After that one belt thing, when he whooped her, it was much less. We argued because I never left a bruise on my child. And I just felt like it was fear in Aniya. I felt like she was scared of Deonte, is what I told him. I felt like my child was scared of him. So her being scared, when he came around, she prolonged not to speak to him. She just acted different. Like one day I had Aniya doing her homework. She's very smart. She was doing it when Deonte walked in. She just acted like she was retarded, like she didn't want to do it. As if she just afraid.
Do you hear that? She just act like she was retarded, like she didn't want to do it when Deonte walked in. So she trying to make it seem like Aniya gets into this character as soon as Deonte enters into the room. Like, wow.
Deonte. prolonged to the reason why she's acting like that. A week or two, did her like this and shook her and said maybe she'd start walking. I said,
this happened just recently?
yes, about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I stood back, I tapped him. I'm like, baby, no, she can cause a seizure. He said, baby, maybe she'll get back to walking, maybe she'll get back to acting right. I said, no, baby, it's gonna scare her more. And I could have stopped it as a mother, but I was just so busy listening to Deonte. My brother's noticed a change in the night too. She started acting weird when Deonte came around. I didn't notice that. She was acting herself. Like I told him, I thought she was afraid of him.
So you just showed me how he picked her up by her feet, turned her upside down, and shook her.
He told me it will make it better.
It'll make. So, a couple weeks ago you saw him, you're right? A couple weeks ago you saw him turn her upside down. Okay.
To my new apartment.
In a new apartment. And you said that at that time she wasn't walking and talking.
And she stopped walking when we started walking. I wasn't putting her arms up. I wasn't putting her push-up position. I never whooped Aniya. And I felt like Aniya was looking at me like my mom never did this stuff. Maybe if I told him to do this, he won't do nothing. And it didn't work. She still didn't walk. And I felt like she was afraid.
Did he make you discipline her to show him that you would discipline her, or how did that go?
What you mean?
Like, were you refusing to discipline your own daughter?
Can y'all hear it?
The only thing I did was, oh,
Okay.
I never believed in, I believe in discipline, but I never believed in discipline a child, if that makes sense.
Can y'all hear me? Okay, I think I dropped down, but I see Tracy said yes, so you must have could hear me. Okay, let me quit messing with this phone. I was trying to listen to it myself. Let me, okay, since she's on this part, I'm gonna show y'all a video, and just keep in mind, this is the image of her that you're listening to. She ain't doing nothing but sitting there, okay? It ain't nothing going on. So don't feel like you're missing nothing without having the audio. But I just want to show y'all this video.
I was originally talking about back in May of 2017.
Back in May, 696 was called because Aniya had a scratch in her head that I wasn't even aware of. Okay. And she had something right here on her head that came from when we was at the park and she fell. And she had on sandals.
Okay. So you were showing me, right now we know that Aniya has a terrible bruise, swollen shut eye with a laceration right here on the brow.
Noodles with.
So show me how that injury happened. Picked her up out of the bed by her foot.
Either he would grab her like this,
okay,
or either he would do this.
What did she strike her head on when she got this injury here?
got her out the tub. I mean, when he placed her in the tub, I noticed I wasn't in a bathroom at the time, but I'd be on the couch and I just hear boom.
Yeah.
Or I see him carrying her out the room like this, and he just place her real hard. He just place her real hard. I'm like, babe, you gotta be gentle. You gotta be gentle. I did notice something right here, but I didn't feel like it was gonna get big.
Okay.
But that was basically the routine that he would do. He would just grab her out the bed, or he would do this.
And I'm telling you this on the record. She never did anything to put a child in harm's way. Stop.
I was originally talking about back in May of 2017.
Back in May, 696 was called because Aniya
My
had a
fault,
scratch on
y'all.
her head that I wasn't even aware of. And she had something right here on her head that came from when we was at the park and she fell. She had on sandals.
Okay. So you were showing me, right now we know that Aniya has a terrible bruise, swollen shut eye with a laceration right here on the
I know
brow.
these noodles with.
So show me how that injury happened. Picked her up out of the bed by her foot.
Either he would grab her like this,
Okay.
or either he would do this.
What did she strike her head on when she got this
When
injury
he
here?
did it, when he got her out the tub, I mean, when he placed her in the tub, I noticed I wasn't in a bathroom at the time, but I'd be on the couch and I just hear boom.
Yeah.
Or I see him carrying her out the room like this, and he just place her real hard. He just place her real hard. I'm like, babe, you gotta be gentle. You gotta be gentle. I did notice something right here, but I didn't feel like it was gonna get big.
Okay.
But that was basically the routine that he would do. He would just grab her out the bed, or he would do this, or if she's not really responding, he'd just do this, and I'd just be standing there, and I'd be like, babe, stop, because it can cause a seizure. Maybe she'll start to walk, and maybe she'll start doing that. I said, I know Aniya's not gonna start to walking because she doesn't like what's being done.
Yeah. So you're saying that this injury that she has on her head right now is caused by him picking her up by the foot or arm and dropping her into the empty bathtub?
Just placing her in the bathtub.
Okay. And you said he doesn't do that gently. Would you be willing to show me with the doll how forcefully you think Aniya's head hit the tub when this injury happened? Don't hesitate to show me what it really was like. How much force was being
used. When you do place her in the tub, it's just you just place her in the tub like that. And every time I would come in and say something, I'm like, babe, just stop. Or when I place Aniya in the tub, I place Aniya like this, gentle.
Okay.
I felt like in noodle ice, like I was being as if I be sweet to her, she's not gonna listen. And it just had this so weird. After that with me, it just seemed like everything changed.
Yeah, that's mommy dearest Sierra Day. And yes, she did, Breeze. And she's putting it all on the boyfriend, but everything that she described there, I believe she did it. Now, both of these people are sitting up unemployed, okay? Neither one of them got a job. I mean, I really don't understand, like, what was she doing looking at the four walls while he was doing all that? Like, what else was she doing better? You ain't got no job. You ain't got nothing to do. Your priority is your child. So why would you have this man placing her in a tub, whooping her, grabbing her up like a rag doll, and all of that stuff that I believe she was doing herself? But one thing that stuck out to me in that video is when she put her in a tub. Now, and I said this already, that Aniya was deceased when they put her in that tub. And the way that she was moving that doll around is exactly why she couldn't, because her thing, they had to like try to pry her jaw open to even try life-saving measures. Her hands was already in a position. You see what I'm saying? She was already into rigor mortis is what I'm saying. So her body was stiff. You wouldn't be able to place her down flat. And the way that she was just moving that damn doll around is probably the way that it did look. And that's why she needed Deonte's help to bathe her, because she was too heavy. And she couldn't do it by herself. And they wanted to cover this up. So let me tell y'all, when the paramedics came, the paramedics said that first of all, we could tell I didn't play the 911 call, but the 911 call was ridiculous. it took them a good 3 minutes or something for her to actually say that Aniya was not breathing, because the person on the 911 call is trying to figure out how we can help you. So they asking them all of these questions and stuff, and she was like saying, well, she had light breathing, or then she stopped breathing, but then she came back, and all of this kind of stuff. Like, girl, like, no, that never happened. Once she stopped breathing, she stopped breathing. I believe she laid in that bed deceased for a minute, hours, more than 2 hours. See, if somebody can tell you when 2 hours, that mean when a liar can tell you 2 hours, you can times 10 that right there. You see what I'm saying? They not telling the truth. They still try to make it seem better for themselves. And I know I got so much information in my head, but I'm like, what I was saying is that when EMS came, paramedics came running up to their door, they said it took them too long to open the door, right? And so it took them longer than the average person. Like normally, when you call the paramedics, you're outside waiting for them, or sometime, you want to make sure they get the location right. If you're in an apartment, you probably gonna open that door within a half a second. You know what I'm saying? Or you gonna just have the damn door open. No, they said they had to knock on the door like 5 times, yelling fire department. They looking around like, are we at the right damn place? But in court, when they finally get to that part, the defense says, it took them about 45 seconds to open the door. Why? I mean, it wasn't 45 seconds is a lot when you're talking about an emergency situation. We're talking about a child that's not freaking breathing. It wasn't urgency enough. Right? Then they say, now mind you, this is March. It's cold as hell outside. Why, when they get to the place, one of the things that they noticed the most, it was cold as hell in there. It was cold. I'm talking about the paramedic said when the door did finally open, there's the scene. There's Aniya laying there on the floor under an air conditioner that's on. It is colder in there than it is outside. So the paramedic said, he asked a few questions. They wasn't forthcoming. He didn't get a good vibe from them because he picked Aniya up and ran to the ambulance and got her straight to the hospital. And then pretty soon after that, you see these pictures on the banner. These idiots being arrested. So that's where we are. Okay, now, since I mentioned the paramedic, another thing that the paramedic said is that it was super clean. It was clean, immaculate. Let me play this video.
Did you obtain a search warrant to enter the premises?
That's practice, yes.
Okay. Once you entered the premises, sir, what was your responsibility in executing the search warrant?
Basically there to just kind of assist them with whatever they needed and kind of be their security guards to make sure nobody came in the apartment or attempted to gain access while they were conducting the search warrant.
All right. And did you enter the apartment yourself, sir?
I did.
What were your observations of this apartment?
The apartment was very, very, extremely clean.
All right. And what was in the apartment, if you recall?
There was a leather couch and a television stand in the living room, is what I would consider it. There was a small kitchen area, one bedroom, and a bathroom.
All right. Were there any items for children?
In the one bedroom, there was a small princess bed, I believe, like Disney princess bed, one of the toddler beds, and they used 3-drawer plastic carts or crates as a dresser for kids' clothing, and a small box of children's toys.
All right. Was there any adult beds in there?
No.
Was there any food?
The refrigerator was very light in food, especially for children's food. There was some leftovers. There was a couple frozen dinners in the freezer.
All right. Did you notice any trash or any diapers or anything that would relate to a child?
No, there was a small garbage can in the living room, like foyer area, but it was mostly papers and receipts.
All right. How long did you stay at the location?
Been there for several hours. I believe I could easily say 2 hours or more.
All right. Did you collect any evidence, sir?
I mainly assisted the detectives if they needed bags to put stuff in or anything like that.
And with regards to the apartment, you indicated that it was clean.
Yes, it was very, very clean. Immaculate is what I would say.
You used the word immaculate. Did it have any scent or any odor?
No.
Did you also go into the laundry rooms, or did you check trash cans or trash bins for any type of evidence or information?
I did. Detective Cheddar did ask me to check all floors with laundry rooms of anything of note, and I don't believe I found anything or located anything.
Now, when you were at the apartment, did you also look in the microwave?
I did.
And what did you find in the microwave, sir?
A half-eaten bowl of a Chipotle rice bowl.
Yeah. So that's what he said. And then the Chipotle, that night before, they walked to Chipotle. Aniya was at home alone. She probably was already deceased then. These disgusting gutter snipes recorded themselves having sex that night. Why Aniya lied there, deceased. That's what they did. They actually said that in court. Because I knew I had heard it, but as I was looking through these videos yesterday, I found that, and I'm like, wow, just disgusting. Miss V, I think she was gone already. Absolutely, I do. That's why her goal obviously was to make sure that she did go. 26 pounds this baby weighed at 4 years old. 26 pounds. I told you I had a 2-month-old child that was 22 pounds. And yeah, he was fat, but I'm just saying, 2 months. You could see her tailbone. You could see every rib, every bone in her body. And they actually stood her up. And I seen those pictures. That was very horrifying. I would never show them here. I mean, this baby had a beautiful round face. Beautiful baby. What's the background? Complete monsters. So let me go ahead. What you mean by the background? The background, their background, the criminal background, the background on my panel. I don't know what you're talking about, Breeze. Complete sentences help. I'm telling you it do. Shout out to all of y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Oh shoot.
You're telling me a lie. I need to understand. You said a couple weeks ago he started with the turning her upside down and shaking her, right?
And I knew it would lead to a seizure or whatever.
You see, when she said I knew that it would lead to a seizure, that leads me to believe that Aniya had a seizure, and she's seen that, and that's why she said that. I mean, it does lead to a seizure, shaking somebody, but all of the stuff that they were saying, y'all, it sounds like they was trying to make her come back alive. That's what I'm getting at. The when I was listening to it the last time, that's what I'm like. It sounds like, I mean, these are complete idiots, though, trying to revive a child by putting her in a tub, running hot water or cold water on her legs. This will make her walk. Hitting her. Maybe this will wake her up. All the stuff that she's describing, that's what I'm picturing in my head. Dumb and damn dumber, trying to make her come back to life. Stupid as hell. At some point, she do say that they was trying to maybe running this water on her legs will make her walk. And she prolonged to walk. And sometimes kids can just kill themselves. What she gonna say that? Let me let this play.
I never disciplined Aniya.
Dumbass.
She was getting just everything that she wanted. And he felt like that could have been the reason why she don't speak to him, or she just do certain stuff that a kid would do that, not listen sometimes, throw a tantrum, not want to speak. But he was the first person that she never spoke to, though.
Yeah.
I knew my right hand to God. I knew it was a change for my day.
Now, when she said my right hand to God, I wish lightning would have just struck her ass to the ground. You know what I'm saying? Even at some point, I think she gonna even say, if God was to be here right now, girl, you better quit playing. Yeah, if we could have just heard a big, strong bolt of lightning strike and just see a flame of fire in the seat that used to hold her ass, I would be happy. Let me let this play.
No, yeah, but I lied because I was dating Deonte. I like Deonte. So I took it, and I know it's a lot of mothers that take stuff. When people do stuff to their kids, they just lie and bypass it. Oh, he ain't do it. I'll let him do it. He looked at me crazy. Baby, she started walking. She stopped talking when he with her. She looked at me. Mommy, you don't do this, and I don't. Her father, everybody knew it was something.
Yeah.
I hid it.
Were members of your family asking you, telling you to stop, or what were they saying to you?
Let me know if it go out, because I'm about to put a picture in here. I'm doing something. So Tracy, let me know if it go out.
I hang out with my twin brother as well a lot.
Yeah, what did he say?
But he don't like news.
But what did he say about knives?
Bruce, he told Noodles, don't touch my knees. My brother Eric was ready to fight him.
Excuse me.
I knew it. I knew it. Like I told him, I could have fucking, excuse me, I could. My right hand to God, I could have stopped it, but I didn't.
My right hand to God. I wish a big hand would have just came down and slapped the piss out of her.
I'm not afraid of Deonte, but don't tell him I'm afraid, but I got abused by my baby daddy, so I'm afraid of man.
And you love him.
Okay. This is like where we was at. This is where we was at when we stopped. That she afraid of man. Okay, so just this is what I said. These things got on my nerves. She afraid of mans, and she prolonged to not to walk and bay and baby and all of the stuff when she's explaining it in the same damn sentence. A man that has abused her child to the point that she is no longer here, and she calling this dude baby. Stupid. You know why she calling him baby? Because she the one that's doing it. You're not going to have some terms of endearment for somebody that took your child out of this world, are you? The hell's wrong with you?
I'm afraid to leave if you.
I was like, this is Deonte, and I let him do it. And my brother knew something was up.
Well, at least two of your brothers, right? Eric and the twin, Isaiah.
My daughter is dead because of him. She could have prolonged it because he whooping me. Kids can kill themselves because of what's going on. You know what I mean?
Do you hear? I mean, we heard this the last time. Kids can kill themselves from what's going on. You know what I mean? You know what you mean? Oh, Jesus.
And was so smart. I felt in my heart she prolonged to do this.
She sure in the hell didn't get the smarts from your dumb ass.
The discipline she was getting, you know. Miss, I knew this was wrong. I knew the shaking was wrong. Okay. You did it about twice. I knew that was wrong. I knew it was wrong. I knew when we gave her a bath, we placed her in the tub. Hey, she okay? She okay? And I was standing over her, and I was like, damn, I said, chill, just be chill. No, she faking, she faking. And, you know, I thought she was faking too.
She faking what? You see how she telling on herself? What is she faking? Not to walk or deceased? Which one? But I'm gonna let this play.
Which I believe she was, because she was scared.
This morning, I mean Sunday, before you called us.
I felt like Aniya prolonged. The kids can cure themselves because of what they're going through at home, is what I'm trying to say.
You think that she was so terrified that she put herself into a state that caused her death?
Yes.
You think she was that scared?
Yes, I know. Shaking could have caused it. She's little.
I need to understand.
Aniya stopped walking at Harbor Crest after her work.
Yeah.
He whooped her very fucking hard, and I was scared for my own child's life.
Y'all hear that? Do y'all hear that? I'm trying to put this picture in here of Aniya when she was at the hospital. And then hopefully I could put these pictures of her dad, the room that he had for her. Tracy, can y'all hear me? Oh man, I ain't got no room for it. Jeez. Let me move this. Yeah, we gonna make some room. Give me a minute, y'all. I'll be right back with you. I don't know why I didn't put these in here at first, but I mean, just freaking adorable. Y'all know I can't stay in silence, but I gotta do this. What is going on here? Oh, it looked like it's taking them. Cool. Ah, wow. So it didn't put the main one. But I wanted to show y'all this. This is what Michael Garrett had, how he was walking around and probably still is. That is her ashes. And there was a dress that Aniya had on. In the video that I played with the I'll play it again so y'all can see it and look for it. She's in this dress right here that he has framed, and she has on all black sunglasses on that picture. Devastating. But the picture that I was trying to put in is, let me move this. Dang, it's hot in here. I'm gonna have to cut the air on. Right here. Poor baby. Right here. When she was at the hospital I forgot what happened, but she got hurt. And that's the scratch that was on her nose, I think, when she said mommy did it. She pushed her up the steps or something. So you hear me, Tracy? I'm gonna step away because this is too much for me right now. Okay, Breeze. Yeah, I understand. This is hard. I mean, I be crying. I was crying like a baby watching this video. I'm gonna play this video. This is the video that she has on the dress that he has framed right here. And then just to go through a couple of these pictures, beautiful picture of her. Look how fat and round and beautiful her face was. Beautiful baby. And then this is the room that he had prepared for his daughter. And now it's filled with memorial stuff, you know? And then this is maybe this is when Sierra maybe loved her back then, when she was still with Michael. See how fat and chunky her face was? Beautiful baby. Monster. How dare you? Like, wow, man. So I just wanted to show y'all that. Let me move this one. I'ma just delete this one because we ain't showing that one no more. That was old. That was when the father was still around and she you know, some people can only hold it together just because the person is the other parent is there. Not because they love the kid or nothing, but because they love them. Or crazy love. And they can't do nothing right if they not there. They absolutely did. Along with her mammy and people that didn't say nothing when they knew that Aniya was being abused. People at the daycare, her family, you know. Shit.
When I heard her cry, I came into the room and I said, baby, you need to chill. When I saw the mark on her, I knew her dad was going to say something. I still gave her to Mike 4 days later. He called me cussing me out.
Now, mind you, this right here is after this, Michael never seen Aniya again. He took pictures of the bruises, CPS. Everybody was then ignited to do something. And people didn't move fast enough to do something. So this is the incident right here.
I'm in the truck with him. I was like, I knew he was going to do this. I knew he was going to do this. Baby, he's not a big mark.
Baby.
I mean, I felt like it wasn't a big mark either, but still, I didn't like the way he was whooping her and all that. He came to the conclusion that he put her arms up, put the position. I know she didn't like it. I knew she didn't like it, and I still let it go on. I'm afraid of men. I'm gonna be honest. I'm very afraid of men. I used to get abused when I was a kid, so I was always scared. But I don't like to show no fear of scaredness in front of people.
See how she blaming everybody else. She afraid of mans and she got abused as a kid and everything, you know. But she ain't scared of Deonte, but she's scared of mans. So I guess he a girl's, a woman's.
My baby, I felt like she prolonged her death because of him, because of a whooping. And I swear to fucking God, God can come down here right now.
Please,
because
Lord.
anybody know I did my job as a mother.
Please come down. No. Man, listen. This woman is a horrible liar, too. Like everything she's saying, you can tell that she's a freaking liar. She is not afraid of mans. She's not. She just didn't give a damn to hold the title that she was supposed to be, that she made herself. You know, a mother. Once you become a mother, everything else go out the window. It take the back seat. But instead, she put this dummy in the driver's seat. Or nah, she put him in the passenger seat because she in the driver's seat. She in control of everything. He just going along for the ride. Babysitting, participating in bathing. I mean, I don't even know why they didn't. I don't know. Did they charge? They should have charged him with tampering with a corpse because that's what the hell they was doing.
He choked her once in Harbor Crest. He choked her. He choked her once in Harbor Crest. Can you show me with the doll how he did that? And I let him. My dumbass.
Yeah, your dumbass.
He just did like this. And he told her back right. And I can see it.
So I wish I would have. I didn't put that part on here, but she just grabbed the doll and had it in the air by the neck and was just shaking it. That was her demonstration of what he did. At the apartments that she was at prior to moving here 2 months ago, when she said she stopped walking. And then I also heard her say that she had took Aniya to work with her about 3 to 4 times. She had to stop because people was gonna start asking questions because she wasn't walking. And I mean, how? See, that's the thing though. Was she the only one there? Was she the only adult there? I'm so confused on how nobody could look at this baby's face and tell that she was emaciated, dehydrated, wasn't being taken care of, or nothing. I'm talking about those bruises that was on her legs. They thought that they were burns. They didn't end up saying it wasn't burns. Like her skin was so thin and fragile because she was sitting there, she was laying there withering away. Her skin was basically just falling off, is what I'm saying. So it could have just come from them washing her. The medical examiner said she had skin slippage.
And I can see it in Aniya's face. For a child not to really get whooped isn't something. It's very something to them. Yes, I think it's forbidden from birth.
For a child that don't really get whooped, that we have documented injuries from 2015, 2 years before Deonte came into the picture. Why she sitting up here, keep on talking about she wasn't abusing her, she ain't never hit her, and all of this stuff. She's even going to get into how Aniya would look at her. And when a medical examiner is explaining some of the stuff, like she couldn't move. So she probably did have her eyes open sometime just staring. And then this is what she's describing as acting like, playing, like she don't know what's going on and just kind of staring off, trying to avoid Deonte and all this stuff. Like, you stupid broad. Everything I don't even know why they didn't date it back further, because the medical examiner couldn't tell a lot of things, because it was, he had never seen a stroke that way. And she had several strokes too. It wasn't just one. And she want to cry. She want to cry now.
I know she prolonged to do this because she was scared.
Exactly, Tracy.
I didn't think she was going to die. I didn't think she was going to die. I knew as a mother she prolonged to do this because she was scared of Deonte. Told Deonte.
As a mother, I believe she prolonged it because she was scared of Deonte, and I didn't think she was gonna die. What the hell did you think? Not feeding somebody, not giving them water, not taking them to the doctor when something happens very traumatic, like a seizure. I believe she did have a seizure. Like I said, it's somewhere in the middle. The truth is there in the middle. Like, when people are lying, they tell truths and lies at the same damn time. So some of the stuff happened that can't be proved. And a lot of the stuff the doctors had to figure out because they hadn't seen certain things. But for her to be sitting up here crying, like, really? I don't even want to hear this right now.
Yes, my daughter's afraid. I feel like Aniya did something. I don't know what she did, but I feel like she did it to this point. She didn't want herself to eat. She
did it intentional and didn't want herself to eat. Well, the medical examiner said that her pancreas was digesting itself. And she couldn't eat. She couldn't. She was barely alive.
Because she was afraid. She stopped walking because she was afraid. I knew it.
She stopped walking because she had a damn blood clot on her brain that controls her mobility and caused her to have a damn stroke. That's why she stopped walking. Dumbass.
I mean, she this picture of the night was normal. I got in a relationship with my daughter started acting weird.
When did she stop eating?
She was eating, but she was eating very, very slow.
No,
She was
wasn't.
eating very slow.
When did her eating habits change from a normal, healthy eating habit to this?
I realized it. I realized it when we was in Harbor Crest.
Okay. Did you take her to the doctor then when you noticed the weight loss back on Harbor Crest?
No, because there was no, because first she was eating, but she is as if I'm a night, as if she's thinking in her head. Mommy lets this man put his hands on me. My mama don't want this. My mama don't do this.
Did you see that it is like she would be sitting there like she in her head? To me, that is like her just sitting there looking, because even when the paramedic, when they called 911 and they asked was her eyes open, they said her eye was open or something. So that didn't change. How long had that been going on? Her just looking.
I'm going prolong to do something because I'm sick of it.
Like
I quit work.
Planned.
I don't work again. I quit my job. Stay home with my child.
When did you quit it? Right?
She tried to make that okay. So now she's about to explain that. Talking about I quit my job to stay at home with my child. Well, B, if you wasn't abusing her, she could have been in daycare like a normal kid, a normal 4-year-old. This is ridiculous, man. Like, some people just should get the death penalty real quick.
About 3 weeks ago, because I wasn't walking, and I knew if I kept walking in the daycare.
Okay, so at this time, she says she quit her job about 3 weeks ago. Aniya wasn't walking at least 3 weeks prior. That's what she just said out of her mouth. If you listen at her. 3 weeks before. And it was even longer than that. Because it happened at her other apartment. And at the time of this incident, they had been at the new apartment for 2 months already. So at least 3 months she was in this state. And they did nothing. Well, no, they did all of this stuff that she's explaining. I'm gonna just let this dumb bee talk.
Yeah. They were looking like, well, why are you carrying a 4-year-old? I carried her and get raised that girl for 3 or 4 days. I said, Deonte, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep doing this.
See, she said she took her to work with her for about 3 or 4 days. And then she decided, I can't do this.
I told Deonte, he said, baby, it get better. Her walk prolonged. After that walk being prolonged, she prolonged not to walk.
She continued not walking, is what you're saying.
Now she finally just kind of put a correction on it. Like she prolonged not to walk for so long. She prolonged not to walk. The lady like she continued not to walk. Yes. Dummy.
Okay. So I said, when I get my taxes, I'm going to pay my rent up. So I can stay home with her. Because I didn't want her to be in nobody else's care but my kid. Okay. I ain't let this fucking happen. My daughter.
You didn't want her to be in nobody else's care but your care because you knew you was going to jail. And you was trying to prolong that. Not that you care so much. Oh, I quit my job to take care of my child. Yeah, you had no choice.
Did it right now. I couldn't prevent it, but I did. She was afraid. She always told me she didn't like noodles. She told my brother, I don't like noodles. Yeah, people gonna cut
Welcome,
me out.
Eat Money.
You should have listened to her, but I like the Deonte, and I just listened to him. She basically, she just started acting weird after a whooping. He did it twice. He shook her. He choked her on Harbor Crest. And he told her to act right.
So you made her up by her neck off the ground?
Yes, he made her hold a chair.
He made her hold a chair. Can you show me how he made her hold the chair?
He made her hold a chair like this.
What kind of
So she's picking up a chair and just holding it over her head. These are the type of things she claims Deonte was doing to Aniya. Making her hold a chair, putting her arms out to the side and holding them up. He wanted to make her hold a book, but she said no. Yeah. Anyway.
My house. A regular chair.
Is it a child-sized chair or a regular chair? Is it in those pictures?
It's a chair. It should be. And he told me I got a whole book. So I told him no. I felt like towards the young I was being soft on her.
You thought you were being soft on her? Why? Because you let him convince you that this is the kind of beating she needed? This is the only child's chair I see in the picture.
And she said towards the end, I felt like I was getting soft on her. So then that was what the detective said after that. And she's showing her pictures because they took pictures of everything in her house. So she's trying to ask her, what chair did she hold up? So she's claiming it was a toddler chair.
It was this one.
That one? Or do you know which chair it is? Oh, there's another fold-out chair.
It's my chair. This chair. It was her chair.
This one, the chair under the princess table?
He made her hold it like a person who was in the living room.
Now she said that happened at Harbor Crest too. So everything went, by the time they moved from that place, Aniya was not mobile at all. And then they want to sit up here and say, oh, we went to Red Lobster on Friday. She had some pasta spaghetti with her dumb ass. Don't even know what shrimp Alfredo is. She had some pasta spaghetti. She did good. She had snacks at home and then she threw that up. Girl, what? They tried to make it seem like everything happened Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then that Sunday is when they had to call the paramedics. But the truth is, what we're hearing right now is that Aniya was at least in that state for 3 months, according to what came out of her mouth. And that's the long of it from what she's saying, about 3 months. And then she quit. The short of it is 3 weeks when she quit her job because she was carrying her up in there. She couldn't walk. So this is crazy, man. Exactly.
Did the chair ever hit her or fall on her? No.
So she's asking if the chair ever hit her or fell on her, and she talking about nah. Man, what? So this is all the stuff they was doing prior to her getting in this state. Wow. Allegedly, I guess.
You made her hold it.
Alright. Can you circle the chair in the photo just right in the margin or somewhere up here? This is the chair that she was made to hold as punishment or whatever in your own words. Can you make that for me?
Okay, y'all. So I'm a break it up a little bit. We at 300 hours right here on this. I'm about to go to Deonte's, and y'all gonna just hear how different his interrogation goes compared to hers. So let me break this up a little bit because I'm sick of hearing from her ass. Really is what it really boils down to. So yeah, hold on. Now let's listen at idiot number 2 as he sits here and try to act like he cool, calm, collected, and friends with them and trying to, be a charmer and all this stuff. Ain't nobody playing with you.
You must understand your rights. You have right to remain silent. Anything you say.
Yes, welcome in, new member, Miss Patty. Thank you so much for being a Team Viral member. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Wait, where is I made a little video. I got to get my membership's video together, but I do have a video at least. Welcome in. Yes, welcome to Team Viral membership, Miss Patty. Let me know if you need anything. You get some perks with becoming a member. So if you need something, you want that thumbnail, hit me up.
Used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions and to have him with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer...
Okay, we don't need to hear all that.
The doctor yesterday when she fell off the toilet?
We did call 2-hour nurse, but I don't get my parents or something like that, or my brother called me, I might go with my brother. Other than that, I'm in the house with them all the time.
See, now that's hey, we starting out with the business. Yeah. Oh, he barely leave the house. That's another thing. So let me get to the right point of this video.
In about June of last year, did you start having involvement where Aniya, is that how you pronounce the child's name? Okay, where...
Okay, so June is when him and Sierra start kicking it. That is the month that her brother sent him to pick her up. And that's when they start dating. June of 20... No, they met or reconnected in June, and by July, I guess they was fully dating.
Stranded me to ride. Her brother called me, and I was working at the time at Pt.2 airport. I was off. I just want to go pick him up and everything, and we just kind of reconnected. Not that specific day, but that was how we got back in touch with each other.
Y'all hear him?
So you had dated her in the past, or just knew her in the past?
We both was in a marching band.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes.
In the Shanghai marching band?
Yes,
is that correct?
So they met in high school at Shaw High School, and they was both in a marching band. Tracy, is it necessary for me to repeat this? Can y'all hear this? Can y'all hear it good? Should I keep repeating it? I don't know. I can't hear it, and I'm using both of my devices. Actually, I don't even know why I ain't using that dang on other device. But is it always necessary for me to repeat it, or is it helping, or should I stop? Let me know.
Okay. And what year did you guys go to, what was your graduating year from Shaw?
Mine was 10.
And hers is?
Thank you so much, Tracy. And the best way actually right now is right here with the Cash App if anybody wants to send anything. And thank you for that, Tracy, because I don't never think about that. She know that. But there it is if anybody want to do anything for your girl.
Hers was 13.
So she's a little younger, okay? So you're 2010 and she's
okay. Thanks, Bronze.
Right.
And thanks for sharing, Bronze. I know you shared it. And Tracy said we can hear it. Okay.
So then you just, all that time since high school, and you just reconnected, so.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy how I reconnected them. Like I said, they needed a ride, and it was just late at night. Her brother, who I know from my called, and I just said, okay, I'm gonna pick you guys up, and just picked them up. Just started kicking it after that.
Okay, so he picked her and her brother up.
Okay, all right. So who's her brother that you know?
Isaiah Day.
Oh, her twin brother. Okay, I thought it was the other brother.
Maybe that's not spelled Isaiah. I don't know how to spell it.
That's okay. I might not spell it right. I just don't want to forget. I have a tendency to forget things if I don't jot them down. So that's all I'm doing is just writing down what you're.
That would be it.
Okay. And has there been a time since June of 2017 when you guys reconnected where you were broken up or separated? No? Okay. She just moved into Cultural Gardens, so where were you staying with her before that?
Harbor Crest Apartments.
At Harbor Crest, what was the apartment number?
119, probably.
Which building?
Hey, wait. So technically that building, how you know? West building. I think that's how they pronounce it there.
The West Building at Harbor Crest?
Yes.
Okay. So you're staying there with her.
Come on.
Before moving to Cultural Gardens, which is the name of the complex you guys live in now.
Yes, ma'am.
You were staying with them at Harbor Crest.
Yes.
And have they lived anywhere else since June of 2017 besides Harbor Crest and Cultural Gardens? Okay, so you've been with them the entire time since June of 2017 that they lived in both apartments we just talked about, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's crazy. Like, you go to give somebody a ride and then bam, you done moved in with the chick. Like, that's some, I don't know, that happened pretty quick. A disaster. Picked her up. Ain't seen her since damn high school, probably. Pick her up one night and never leave. Like, what? So he stayed with her in June at that apartment. Then they moved. Then he moved with her in her new apartment. Just that. I mean, and she happened to be the one that was the abuser. But some of these females, like, come on, man, y'all don't even know these dudes before y'all get them in the house with your kids. Don't know enough about them. Just because you knew somebody from high school don't mean nothing. I mean, that's just what's on my mind. Of course, she was the main abuser. He was too, by doing nothing. I don't know if he got licks in or not. You know why? Because Aniya didn't say it. She said, Mommy hit me. Mommy pushed me and said I did it.
When you guys lived at Harbor Crest, was Aniya going to the daycare there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How did you guys like that daycare?
Well, not the daycare, Harbor Crest. There's a daycare across the street that she used to work at, and that was Ready Set Grow.
Ready Set Grow?
Yes.
Where was that?
Like, where was it at now?
Yeah, where's that daycare?
It was, I don't know that specific address, but it was like right across the street
From?
Harbor Crest Apartments.
Oh.
So yeah, she worked at a daycare called Ready Set Grow that was exactly across the street from her place. And that's the daycare that she was walking in with Aniya holding her for 3 or 4 days before she quit her job.
What kind of building is it in?
It was in a church. So they bring out the downstairs of the church.
Okay. Got it. Now, was Ready Set Grow before or after the daycare that's in the Harbor Crest apartment complex?
She did that before, I believe. So I think she went through her, she transferred over to Harbor Crest, and she transferred her back to Ready Set Grow.
Okay. So were you in the picture when Aniya was going to the daycare at Harbor Crest? No, not at all?
No, not at all.
Okay. And how did you know that she had been?
She told me.
Did she say why she stopped her going to the Harbor Crest daycare and started taking her to Ready Set Grow?
She felt like she'd be in better hands being with her.
Oh, so Sierra worked at Ready Set Grow while Aniya was going there? Am I understanding that right? Okay. Does she have a background in early childhood?
So that's another thing. Aniya couldn't escape her. She had her at home and then she was at daycare with her as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Do you know where she got that from?
If I'm not mistaken, I didn't get that certifications from Shaw.
I know some high schools do offer that program. Okay.
Yeah, they offer it at Shaw High School. I believe she got her certifications from. Unless she did something else I don't know about, but yes.
Okay, we gonna skip that.
All we know is we heard a boom. We heard a boom, and we go to the bathroom, see her eye like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or anything like that. I'm pretty sure she asked about that, but I never heard it on her phone.
Okay. All right. So, was there ever a time where Sierra was disciplining Aniya where you were concerned about the seriousness of the discipline?
No.
Never?
No, she worked her hands. She worked for kids, worked with kids and everything. So, no, she wants her hands.
Now just pay attention to how he protects her and how he he actually agrees with how she disciplines and all of this stuff because he's sitting up here stating that she doesn't do anything wild when she disciplines her.
Do you know why I'm asking you these questions?
Because what's going on right now today?
Yeah. I'm just concerned about the level of discipline she might have been receiving based on some injuries I've seen on Aniya. Do you know which injuries I'm talking about?
I know she has an eye, but that's from her wanting to be like fall. She wasn't feeling too well. We sat on the toilet because she's having stomach problems. I'm trying to make some soup. I believe she was trying to get some ginger ale and everything. All we know is we hear a boom. We hear a boom, and we go to the bathroom, see her eye like that. So we try to let
When was that?
What was that? I think happened yesterday afternoon. It was an eye thing. Around yesterday afternoon.
What time yesterday afternoon?
So again, the story is that Aniya fell off the toilet the day before they had to call the paramedics, and that's how she injured her eye, which was a black eye with a laceration over it. And the medical examiner said that her eyes were so puffy that he had to like pry them open somehow, or however he had to get them. He had a hard time.
I'm gonna say I can't give you time. I'm sorry. It happened not late night, like early afternoon, like maybe like 3, 4. That's what I'm guessing.
And what did the eye look like yesterday at the time when you're saying she fell off the toilet?
It was like the same as it is now.
Oh, she hit her head on the tub?
Like when she fell off the toilet.
How do you know? How do you know she hit her head on that tub?
Yeah, that's when the eye thing happened. Like when she was sitting on the toilet, her stomach wasn't feeling well and everything. And I'm in the kitchen, see her comes and she puts her in her. She comes out to me like everybody see what's going on. We were just something I felt really good, which is real.
So for anybody that don't understand why Deonte is in the position he's in, listen at his interrogation. He's right there with her in agreement with everything, lying, covering it up and everything. And when they give him the opportunity to tell the truth, he said, I can't make it no more clearer. Basically.
Try to make some soup or something. All we know is we hear a boom. And so we're automatically assuming she hit her head.
Okay, so you were just assuming, you didn't see that.
No. You hear a boom, you come in, you see your child's eye, you kind of like.
Now remember, the day before she passed away was even actually the day that they went to Red Lobster, allegedly. Now he just said that she fell off the toilet around 3 or 4 p.m. They still went to alleged, which Red Lobster was a lie. So all of it is a lie. So I'm just saying, just pay attention.
Kind of trying to make your own assumptions and everything.
Right. So I look at the injury to the eye, and there's a laceration, so the skin is open. And I know because I have 4 kids, and they've hit their heads, and the head is a concentrated area for blood. The heart pumps the blood very forcefully to the head. So, like, were you alarmed at the amount of blood that was coming out of the wound yesterday?
No, it was blood, but it wasn't as bad. You know what I mean? It was just like a really big, like black eye. There wasn't really a lot of blood coming out at all.
Okay.
I'm shocked because the way that looked, it
was a lot of blood.
It should have bled a lot, right?
Yes.
Did you guys have to clean up the blood?
We had to clean up too much of anything. I mean, we had to clean up some stuff, but it wasn't like a lot of blood spill or anything like that at all.
Okay.
What's stuff?
You said you had to clean up some stuff. What did you have to clean up?
No, just like a little from her head, We tried to make sure everything was cool with her. It was a little blood, not a lot. Cleaned that up real quick. Just let her down. We let her down right after.
Okay, so in this part, Sierra says that they used peroxide. Deonte used ice to put over her head, and she even put some damn alcohol on an open wound. That's what she said. Now let's see what Deonte says they did, because when she asked him, did they you would think that would be a lot of blood because of how big that cut was. He said we had to clean up some stuff, but not not that much or not that or something. She's like, well, what did you have to clean up? And then that's when he said her face basically and her hands.
Did you call the doctor yesterday when she fell off the toilet?
We did call a 24-hour nurse, but I don't think we called her yesterday. If she did, I wasn't went around, but I know we did not call a 24-hour nurse yesterday at all.
Okay.
Because she wasn't feeling well.
Okay, so no call to the medical professionals yesterday about the fall off the toilet. Okay. You're pretty involved with care. Does she call you Dad?
Sierra had her call me Dad once or twice, but you know, it's something.
You hear this?
My mom had a different boyfriend when I was growing up, so that's like a sensitive matter to me. So I never try to force the issue of calling me Dad because just being a kid growing up, I can understand how that would be.
Okay. So as a father figure, maybe she doesn't call you Dad. Are you participating in the regular child care for Aniya? Do you
And everything.
feed her?
I've been washed up.
Okay, y'all hear this? This is what got his ass right where he at. Because he's sitting up here talking. I mean, she's basically asking, do you participate in the child care of Aniya? And now he's sitting up here talking about how he feeds her and all of this and that. Oh, yeah. Okay. Listen at this.
Yeah. Okay. What about visits to the pediatrician? Do you know her pediatrician's name?
No, I have to go to her doctor's before, but
you have taken her to the doctor?
Yes.
Where's that at? Where's the doctor's office?
Located right down the street. You got lecture. Was that University Hospital?
Describe the building to me.
It is the hospital. It's University Hospital. University Hospital right on the left hand side of the
What's it by?
Right hand side.
Okay, so the big new building in the front? Okay, so you got the University Hospitals right here up by Ḻiʋទ្ and the Euclid Hospital back here, right?
Oh, no, I know when I put it right, I was always making a right going all the way to the back. So it's like the same thing from right across you from 185th.
Okay, there's two medical facilities there. That's why I'm going to ask you. I'm actually going to pull up a picture on my phone. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying to get past this part really because I don't really care about that. They ain't took her to no damn doctor.
Growing up, so that's like a sensitive matter to me. So I never try to force the issue of calling me Dad because just being a kid growing up, I can understand how that would be.
Okay. So as a father figure, maybe she doesn't call you Dad. Are you participating in the regular child care for Aniya? Do you
and everything.
feed her?
I've been washed up. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What about
feeding her and helping her wash her up?
What about visits to the pediatrician? Do you know her pediatrician's name?
Okay, so we already heard that. So that's 2740. Let's go past all of that.
So it's right here up by Ḻiʋទ្ and the Euclid Hospital.
Yep, let's go past that some more.
I would say like maybe August.
Wait.
Maybe August or September. 1 or 2 were our last appointment at the doctor.
Okay.
Oh,
and what was that
come
visit
out
for?
the doctor.
So that was for well check. Were there any concerns about Aniya's health at that time?
No.
And that was late summer or early fall, August of September of 2017. Okay. And you didn't go in.
No, ma'am.
You dropped off Sierra and Aniya. Is that right? What do you do?
And this is a lie too, because I remember them saying that she didn't take her to no doctor's appointment. So I'm gonna skip past this too. I'm trying to get into more of that day.
Right after I called out work one time. I was either staying in the parking lot or I left. And I came back picking him up. I know one time I actually left home because I had to use my parents' car. I left home, went back home to my parents, where they was doing what they had to do. Then I came back up and picked him up. Okay. I was like,
So basically, she questioned him, like, why wouldn't you go to the doctor? So that's what he's explaining there. I mean, he ain't her father. Like, he didn't need to be there.
Johnson what? They make more than one product.
Oh, okay. So she's asking him about the burns now, or alleged burns.
I'm also wondering about like a bruise or red mark that's swollen on her forehead. Do you know anything about that?
That could happen from when she fell too as well, because she doesn't, really do anything.
Okay. What do you mean she doesn't do anything?
No, I'm talking about like trying to.
You hear that? You hear that? He just told on himself. He said I think it came from that too because she don't usually do anything. So she like, what you mean? Yeah, she don't usually do anything. And they was trying to actually make him look better by saying that by the time he had met Sierra, Aniya was already in the state. So he didn't really know any different or something. That's what they was trying to say.
Happened from the eye thing because there's nothing else that could have happened from her head to have another injury unless it all came at once.
Okay. Well, and what's going on with the skin on her legs?
We did this from Johnson Johnson.
You did what?
We did this from the Johnson Johnson.
So Sierra came up with this lie that whatever was wrong, the burns or whatever, the skin being gone on her legs, they tried to say it was coming from Johnson & Johnson product. And if I had to guess, they probably looked that up somewhere because Johnson & Johnson did have lawsuits going on for certain products at some point.
Baby soap that we bought her. Because we've been talking about that before, because we seen it on the leg, on the foot and everything, on the leg and everything. And we both had talked to each other. Remember this from Johnson Johnson because
what kind of soap are you using on our legs?
The Johnson Johnson.
Johnson what? They make more than one product.
It's the kids soap, but it's the pink bottle. It was the I don't know. I'm sorry. It's the pink bottle, but it's for hair and body.
Okay.
For kids.
Okay.
Now, the weirdest thing is, we were talking about that, and she said she seen something on YouTube where they talking about you didn't want kids using Johnson & Johnson no more, but we're like, well, we don't be using it all. She's been using it with her all her life.
Okay. Do you understand why I'm asking you these questions about your injuries? Okay. Yes. Why do you think I'm asking?
This is a child right here. This child's going on. We want to make sure everything's good, not just us, but you guys as well.
Yeah. How do you think I'm feeling right now about the answers you're giving me?
I really couldn't say. I mean, I know they're all, from what accurate as far as my information, as far as my knowledge goes, but other than that, I feel like you're helping out as best as I can.
Okay.
My brand, I'm helping out as best as I can here.
Okay. I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming over here and being willing to talk with us. Because anytime we believe a child's been injured, of course.
We want to make sure.
Yeah, we want to do the best we can for that child. I asked you a little bit earlier if you were ever concerned about any of the discipline that Sierra, did you think that the discipline was always appropriate to the level of misbehavior for a 4-year-old or 3-year-old, whatever?
Yeah, we wouldn't touch or anything. Yes. If you want to go stand in the corner, go to timeout, I always thought that was appropriate, especially if you're being bad, if you're talking about your grown-ups and everything like that. I find those type of things appropriate as well.
And do you think that Sierra always handled the discipline appropriately? You don't think she went too far?
No.
Okay.
See, right there. They know the level of discipline. They pretty much got Sierra in their radar as being the one that's actually doing it. But he's still, you there. You ain't called nobody. When you see a crime going on, you have an obligation to call and get help. You know what I'm saying? Or help yourself at least, then call. But to sit there and watch this baby wither away like she did and did nothing, dude, you are. There's no way. There is absolutely no way.
Tell me a situation where you thought Sierra went too far. Which situation would it be?
I think that she never took the situation too far at all.
You see? She never took it too far, he says. Never. Okay.
And from Aniya just passing out on the toilet. So, and then the leg stuff came from from what we believe is the Johnson Johnson and everything.
Okay.
Other than that, I've been around Sierra. She does great with kids. She does great at daycare and everything. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll get back to that. You wrote in your statement that you went to Red Lobster. When was that?
My family did that. Was that last Wednesday or last Thursday? We went with my family.
Which Red Lobster did you go to?
The one on the Minute.
Did you take Aniya with you?
Yes.
Okay. And Could we narrow it down a little bit more so that when I get video, I can not be searching through all of it to find your family there? Like you said, you thought it was Wednesday or Thursday? Do you want to look at the calendar to see which day it was?
I go for last Thursday.
Well,
Now I'm gonna let him get finished explaining all of this because, we listen at Sierra tell her side of the story, so we just listening at both of their stories, and so she couldn't remember who was with him. He said you can tell that they tried to get this lie together because they're, what they're saying is kind of together. You know what I'm saying? Corroborating, I guess. So, but when it's a lie, you're going to forget the small details, and then when the way that they ask these questions, you're gonna trip yourself up. So he get the name and all these people, and then switched it up, and they. Then she said his family, but she couldn't remember their names because she don't be around his family all like that and all this. I ain't even went to no Red Lobster, period, at all. Never happened.
I want to be accurate.
Complete lie, what he's saying right now.
Interesting. Okay, so another month of March here. Right now we're on Sunday.
This man is not innocent. He's all in, y'all. All in.
March 11th. So Wednesday was the 7th. Thursday was the 8th. Does any one of those days?
Thursday.
It was Thursday the 8th. What time did you guys go there?
What time did we go there? Afternoon. I'm like afternoon sometime.
Was it dark out yet?
No, not too dark, no. Getting there, but it wasn't too dark at all.
Was it dark when you came out?
A little bit, yes.
Now, I just want to say this again. The day that they went to Red Lobster is the same day that she fell off the toilet and got this black eye and this big laceration. He said it happened around 3 or 4 p.m. So what time y'all go to Red Lobster, sir?
Yes. Yes, it was.
Okay.
So we got a neighbor, he could be around 5 or something like that.
Round 5.
So it was before dark when you got there, or a little bit dark when you got there, and it was still a little bit dark when you came out?
No, a little light when we got there. So like around 5 before it got too dark. We was in there eating, and then we left out.
Okay. And who was with you?
Just my family.
Who's your
me and Aniya, Sierra, my brother, and my mom.
Okay. Is that the brother that you told me about?
Well, I don't know who else was with us. I'm sorry, guys. I don't really know who else was with us.
Because you're lying.
Your brother Jason?
My brother Jason.
He was there with you? Okay. And your mom Paulette?
No, actually, obviously my mom. My mom was Deborah, but my grandmother is Paulette, so is my grandmother.
Oh, so your mom. All right, I'm going to go back to this form and just add that information. Okay, so is this your biological mom that was there with you at Red Lobster?
No,
who are you referring to at Red Lobster? Well, I asked you if Paulette was at Red Lobster, and you said no.
My grandma was with us. Say it again, I'm sorry. I didn't say my grandma was.
All right, let's start over.
Sorry about that.
You went to Red Lobster.
See how lies work? See how lies work. Okay, let's start over, sir. Get your story right.
Or what day last week?
Thursday.
Okay. And which location did you go to?
Yeah.
And what time was it when you got there?
About 5, I think around 5.
Okay. And who list everybody that was at the restaurant with you that night?
Guys, I remember me, her, our daughter. Somebody was supposed to come out there. My cousin was supposed to come out, but she didn't. So I'm saying my brother was there.
Who's your brother?
Jason Lewis, my mom, Deborah Lewis.
Okay, who's Deborah Lewis?
My mother, my biological mother, not my
Okay.
grandmother, my biological mother.
Okay, was Paulette Howard there?
No,
She was not there.
no. She was supposed to come years there with my granddad, they couldn't show up.
Okay, so Deborah was there.
Yes.
How do you spell Deborah?
D-E.
See how people get other folks involved in their mess?
O-R-A-H.
All right, I'm going to add her to this list, okay? So,
And nothing happened at Red Lobster.
okay, I'm just getting a timeline of any medical problems, okay? Do you know your mom Deborah's birthday?
Okay, so I am gonna end it right here today. I'm not gonna go no further. We gonna start with him. I'm done with Sierra for the most part. We done heard enough lies about her. So when I come back with this, is gonna be the rest of Deonte's story. So we gonna focus in on him so we can fully understand what all he said and did and his placement in this, why he got 20 years to life with possibility of parole. She got 20 years to life without the possibility of parole. Neither one of them is better than the other. And we gonna definitely get through this case, but I don't want to make it too long at all. It is long enough. And I appreciate the ones that was here listening in. Um, Please be sure to share this out. If you find this information is something that you think people should hear, or your audience would like, please share this out. Let people know we are covering crime over here. I appreciate all of y'all coming in. And for the people that will watch the replay, please be sure to smash it up, smash that thumbs up. Please be sure to share it out and subscribe if you have not. And also consider becoming a member where there's many perks. I also have another channel called YouTube. Make This Go Viral LLC, where I do YouTube support over there. If you're interested in starting a YouTube channel and you need help with that, getting things together, I am your girl for that. I talk everything YouTube over there, and the link is being dropped. And wait a minute, what am I looking for here? Oh, I have a live stream set up at 2:30 to talk about Felicia Johnson. So that live stream is gonna pop up after this. I think I'm gonna keep that one at 2:30, which is the time that I normally go live over here. Well, that's just normally my time period. But if you can, please smash that notification on that and show up. For that live stream, I'm gonna play a little video about Felicia Johnson. That is who we'll be talking about later. Okay, so Felicia Johnson went missing in Houston, and her body was found here at Sam Houston National Park. And so let me see, do I have a talking video? Yeah, she went missing from a nightclub in Houston, is what people thought, like a gent club. And so her body was located, but the guy that did it, Chuwubuka in Wobodo from Nigeria somewhere, is likely in Nigeria. He is not arrested for these crimes, and he needs to be. So I'm going to continue to talk about her, but we're going over her affidavit. Okay. And so if you could come back, we are on, I think, page 3 or 4 of the affidavit. So that's what we're going to be covering. If you want to tune into that, I would greatly, will happily have you. So anyway, y'all, I'm out of here. Peace and love. We out.